Hi guys, it's been a while, like a month I think. I finished my consecration. I've been seeing this quote a lot or this verse a lot, and I was pondering it earlier and I discovered something really interesting. I think most people are familiar with the Ephesians 6:12 verse. I'm going to read it for you guys. For our wrestling is not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of the world of this darkness, against the spirits of wickedness in high places. I've heard this verse for so many times throughout the years, and of course we understand that it's referring to the fact that we're battling spiritual battles, and I found that it's actually a lot more specific than I initially thought. So in this quote specifically, this is the Douay-Rheims translation, and how it says specifically against principalities and powers. I'm sure that most of us are familiar with the 9 choirs of angels, and we're also familiar with the fact that the devil took a third of the angels with him. A third of 9 is 3. And I thought maybe there's 3 different choirs that are responsible with having gone down with Satan. And 2 of those choirs are mentioned in this verse: powers and principalities. The powers, their main duty is to fight against evil spirits and fallen angels who try to disrupt God's providential plan. They are tasked with maintaining order and balance in the universe, guarding the boundaries between the heavenly and earthly realms. They oversee the distribution of power among humankind and protect the deep-seated laws of creation from hostile powers. And we can see that in reverse as the fallen angels. We can see that instead of fighting against evil, they fight for evil. Instead of maintaining the balance in the universe, they disrupt the balance, in however way that may be. The distribution of power among humankind and protect the deep-seated laws of creation from hostile powers. And of course, in reverse, there is no distribution of powers among humankind for them. It's among the elite, whom they control, who works for them, people who are into the occult, who are into the Kabbalah, who are into different demonic aspects of faith. The principalities, they are assigned as guardians of nations, cities, dioceses, and kingdoms. They work to influence the hearts of rulers and leaders to make decisions that align with God's will for good and for their subjects and the glory of God. They transmit the divine commands received from the higher choirs, dominions, virtues, powers to the lower orders of angels, archangels, and angels. We can see that there's a huge problem with governance on this planet. They're obviously very much into very demonic things. If any of you guys are familiar with any of that, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole on this channel. They are very much into dark demonic things. It's very, very obvious as of lately. It's coming out more and more. But I think there's a third choir of angels that are involved, the virtues. And I will tell you why I think that they are the third choir in which we're involved of being a third of the angels that fell. They are the instruments through which God works stupendous or extraordinary miracles on earth. They are the spirits of motion and are responsible for maintaining the natural world and supervising the movements of heavenly bodies like stars, the moon, and the sun, ensuring the cosmos remains in order. They inspire humanity to strengthen their faith in God and can provide courage and grace during struggles. And I also mentioned in a different search that I did that they are responsible for manipulating nature, like the weather and different natural aspects of this earth. And I thought that made a lot of sense, because if you guys remember in the Gospels, when they're on the boat and that storm comes and the apostles are freaking out and Jesus is sleeping, and they wake him up and they're like, "Jesus, don't you care we're gonna die?" And Jesus was like, "Shut up," to the wind, and the wind stopped. The only time that we really see Jesus command anything like that is when he's delivering people. And I find that interesting that he did that to wind, which wind is, not alive. But if it's being controlled by something, then it's commanding that spirit, that entity, that demon that is controlling that to stop doing what it was doing. And that's why, because they have power over that. And you can see how they influence a lot of people in the spiritual aspects through astrology by giving them this astrological look on life, things like that. All of this we can see on Earth right now. That's just something that I thought was very interesting. Why am I bringing this up? What does this have to do with anything? We have a way to combat that, especially as Catholics, as we are familiar with Noah's Ark. Mary is that ark now. Okay. I started reading The Glories of Mary. I got this on Amazon, of course, and it is so eye-opening to how instrumental Our Lady is in making sure that she leads us to salvation through Christ. How in general she is so powerful against our fight against principalities, against powers, because when she's put up against all of these negative things, they don't stand a chance because she is glorified beyond that. They pale in comparison to her. All the saints pale in comparison to her. The only greater person in the universe than her is our Lord Jesus Christ, God. We need to honor Mary a whole lot more than what we do. While I was on my little hiatus, or whatever you want to call it, I realized that they came out with that document from the Vatican saying that we shouldn't call Mary co-redemptrix, and that the use of the word should not be used because it could be confusing towards people who are trying to learn more about it, and if it needs more clarification, then it's not useful. I think that is so silly, especially when we're talking about Protestants who need constant clarification on every Catholic doctrine. So if we're gonna go around, and say that we shouldn't call Mary co-redemptrix because it's confusing and it needs clarification, then we're gonna have to clarify every single Catholic doctrine that needs constant clarification, because you need to constantly clarify things in order for people to start to get things in general, let alone people who are very spiritual and have a hard time grasping with the idea that you can pray to saints, that the Eucharist is the true body and blood of Christ, that baptism does save you and it is a part of your salvific journey when you're going towards Christ. All of that needs clarification. So to say that this one thing shouldn't be said because it's confusing and it needs clarification, it doesn't really make any sense, because everything to a Protestant or anybody outside the faith is going to need clarification for anything in order for them to come to the faith. That's just how it is. And it may be confusing, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. And that we're basically tearing down the titles of Our Lady. And I think that is very, very shameful, honestly, very shameful, because she is the means by which we get to Christ. Not that she is why we are directly saved. It is through her that we are saved by Jesus. It is through her that we were given Jesus. And if we can't come to the understanding that since she partook in salvific history through agreeing, through that yes she gave, that basically threw away that no that Eve initially gave, making Mary the new Eve, then we can come to the conclusion that she has some sort of co-redemptrix title. She redeems us in a way because she allowed herself to be the means through which we have redemption, which is through Jesus, and it was through her that we received Jesus. This is not hard to grasp if you are truly opening to grasping it, and that's the main issue that I think that a lot of people have when it comes to these doctrines of Catholic faith, is that they don't want to grasp it. It's not, and sometimes it is that they don't understand, but I think most of the time it's just pride. They don't want to grasp it because then they will have to admit they're wrong in every other doctrine that they grew up on. It's that stubbornness of Protestants specifically, who are very much prideful in their ways of wanting to just assume that their doctrine is correct because that's what they grew up on. I have a lot of fear for these people because I think that the way that most people are going to get saved in these dark times that are coming upon us, Father Ripperger, his theory is that we are in the time of chastisement, or minor chastisement. And the way that we are going to be able to be saved more efficiently is through Mary. And that's going to hurt a lot of you Protestants, and I'm sorry. I don't care though. I love Mary. She's literally how I got to the faith. The rosary was brought to me immediately, that I was brought directly into the faith through the rosary. My very first encounter with Mary was the Hail Mary. Those two words. It wasn't the full Hail Mary full of grace, because I didn't know it at the time. I was in deep confusion. I was in sin. I felt a dark negative energy around me. And for some reason, I don't know why this happened, I wasn't looking into Catholic doctrine. I was not interested in it whatsoever. But I had the inclination in my head, say a Hail Mary. And I was just like, what? But I did it. I said, Hail Mary, Hail Mary. And I didn't realize that I was greeting our mother, the most magnificent greeting that she had ever received through the angel Gabriel. Hail Mary, full of grace. And through that greeting, I allowed her into my life, into my dwelling, but into my life, I allowed her to come in specifically to protect me. I invoked her essentially for her protection, and she immediately, it was as if she was there waiting. She was just like, oh yes, okay, say Hail Mary. As soon as I said it, that negative feeling, that darkness, that creepiness I was feeling that something was behind me disappeared. Immediately, I thought, I need to look into this. Learned the rosary in 3 days. I can't overstate the power that Mary has, especially during these times. My consecration was probably one of the most difficult things I've done so far, spiritually. The Lord has me bearing specific crosses, and my cross specifically is going through mental anguish. It is going through depression and anxiety, having to deal with those sort of spiritual attacks, different people in my life that He uses to get to me. Not only that, I've realized I've never had a mother. Not like that. I have 3 technically, but growing up, I was far away from my biological mother. My grandmother who raised us just wasn't emotionally available, just wasn't there for us. And my stepmom, I didn't know her at the time. I've just recently started to get to know her a lot more. I never had a mother growing up in a time where I really needed a mother. I was going through things as a child. And I feel as though Mary has been making up for that. For me, being that mother to that child within me that makes me a child of God, that part of me that should be childlike, to accept the kingdom, to be willing to embrace Jesus as a child, as He says that we should. She's taking care of that child in me that needs to be healed. I love Our Lady so very much, and I want everybody to love her just as much as I do. And it is through Him that we can receive her. He gave her to us. She gave us to Him. So we can't have her without Him. We can't have Him without her. And I think that needs to be stated more clearly. She is the means by which we can be redeemed. By her giving us to Christ. The way that she gave Christ to us. And during the Passion when He died, she gives birth to the church. I didn't even know that until I started reading this book. What a beautifully put idea, this realization. She gave birth to the church. We are her sons and daughters just as much as we are Christ's sons and daughters, because if He's our Father, she's our mother. This consecration is one of the most important things I've ever done in my life. And I think that's what I want my channel to be about from now on. I want it to go over the direction of my channel. I want this channel to be dedicated to my mother. I wanted to honor her as a daughter of Mary. I just want to be able to share her love with you guys. Pray the rosary every single day. Get some sort of devotion to Our Lady into your life. Learn more about the dogmatics of the church as it pertains to Our Lady. Understand who she is, a part of the church. She is the mother of the church. She is the mother of God. She is the mother of us all. And we all need a mother, especially women like me who need that imitation, because it's just like men raise men, women raise women. And we need a mother who is in the imitation of Christ far more closely than any other being there is. We have her right here available, so accessible too. A Hail Mary, just a couple of words, not even the full sentence, saved my soul, brought me into the church, took me straight to the rosary. Something I never thought I would pray every single day. But it's through her grace that I have, and it is through the grace of God that I have maintained, and that I am steadfast in making sure that everybody has her. I hope that this video inspires somebody out there to embrace our mother the way that Christ embraced her womb to be brought into this world through. And through her, we can be born again. We can be redeemed through her who gives us to Christ. Thank you guys for watching my video again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ave Maria.